Roseline owns Zach Hardy. Alicia Sinclair's got some things to think about, and Ezra Rank Hills is back. Kind of. I'm Zach Hardy, and this is the November 14th, 2018 edition of Wednesday Night Intensity in a nutshell. With that intro, of course, my apologies. I'm also Zach Hardy from the Wrestle Target. Thought we should get that squared away right now. Intensity number 308. Sorry for missing Friday Night Severity last week. Was kind of on a little bit of an up and up and up. Not to mention, since of course this channel is managed by me and me only, so me closing down the Unitard's offices for this week has not changed the fact that I will be doing Intensity, Severity this week, as well as most likely a Survivor Series in a nutshell on Sunday as well, and the Hardy Complex on Monday, as long as the snow can clear up and everybody can get down here. I love this fucking place. We open up Intensity with Zach Hardy and Metric, of course. Metric being the group that Zach Hardy runs, unlike a lot of you who thought it was Metro. Not sure why, but okay. When it comes down to Metric, they walk out. New theme, of course, Black Sheep by Metric, the band Metric. That'll get confusing as the group Metric is different from the band Metric, but the group Metric uses the song Black Sheep as their theme song from the band Metric. It's a real confusing clump. I don't apologize for it. Either way, Zach Hardy and Metric walk out to a new theme, of course, Black Sheep by Metric, as once stated just a few moments ago. Walk out, we tell. Zach Hardy opens up the show with a promo, of course. What else would he do? On James, quoting James, saying that he has no chance versus the entirety of Metric. He's grown stronger since every time he's faced James. The numbers game is in his advantage, and that just gives Zach Hardy a better reason to believe that he can walk out of bulletproof as the USW champion. Then, Roseline walks out. Only took her a few weeks to get involved in this shit, but hey, here she is. Gets in Zach Hardy's face and reprimands Zach Hardy for siding with Metric, siding with the Vigilante group, turning his back on the roster she entrusted in him to lead into a new era of Intensity. Zach Hardy pretty much talks down. Hey, Kyle Reese Sr. never had you in his eyesight as general manager, and you wouldn't be in this position without me leading Roseline to respond to Zach Hardy. Yeah, sure, but ever since Call of Greatness 13, of course, there's no reason that you have been relevant other than me. So, yeah, one of the very rare times that Roseline has called out, and no, never mind, not even just Roseline, one of the very few times that anybody has called out Zach Hardy and won a battle of the words. You see how good I am, bitch. We then lead into Roseline announcing Zach Hardy will face Dwayne Porter in the main event of the episode, which is cool. We move into the first match. It is an 8-man tag team match. Marvelous Brothers in Arms and the Martin Brothers defeat the USW Tag Team Champions, the Stargazers, and the Promised Land. Promised Land, of course, Tanner Wallace and Suzuki Kirikashi. I believe it was Fernandez that hit the Enziguri on Aiden Ritchie in order to win the match. After that, we get an interview with the wine seller. Crazy morning. We have an interview with the wine seller, Norse Cadavery, Xavier King, and Zach Arden. They talk about how the fact that their goal was not to win a shit ton of matches, not to get to the forefront of the Intensity roster, but instead to linger around in the shadows and change the scenery from the area unseen. This is supposed to be my demonstration of the area unseen. It's stupid, I know, not sorry for it though. Wine Cellar, Norris Cadavery, Zach Arden, Xavier King pretty much say the same thing in similar detail, just with a little bit of a twist. Really the main goal is the fact that they want to change everything, shake it all up, kind of while staying in the shadows. It's like if Sting was like, yeah, let me incorporate this change in WCW, but also, hey, don't look at me. Okay, that was a bad joke. Match number 2, Angel, just simply Angel. With Haley Osser and Cindy Allison Jackson in her corner, defeat Dina Lawson with her Equinox and Jade Oliver via disqualification. I believe it was Angel that was sitting out for the Wings of the Archangel or something along those lines, when Jade Oliver and her Equinox attack Haley Osser and Cindy Allison Jackson, and then jump on Angel, giving Angel a win via disqualification. Jade Oliver then hits the Invasion of the Mitaful on Angel, and we essentially see the fact that Angel will be teaming up with Haley Osser and Cindy Allison Jackson at Bulletproof versus Modern Day Royalty. Not opposed to that. I find it an interesting little choice. We get into a backstage segment. Benny Franklin is getting ready for whatever the fuck it is Benny Franklin was supposed to be getting ready for at the time. He walks out of the fucking locker room door, and all of a sudden, we get the surprise of the night as Rank Hills, on his own damn feet, under his own damn power, walks up to Benny Franklin. Huge pop from the live crowd, as you can hear the feed from the audio feed from the main arena just pop big once they saw Rank Hills, which just shows that he's fantastic even when he's off programming. Rank Hills simply says, "Hey Benny Franklin, nice to see you. I'll be back soon. I'm gonna kick your ass." States that the main goal in his mind when he comes back to action is to put an end to the feud altogether once and for all, which, in fairness, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, actually. Feud's been going on since the It's been going on since 2017, so around July. Let's see. No, I guess he would have turned his back on Rank Hills in June, which split up the group. Then he beat Rank Hills. Then I beat Benny Franklin because of Rank Hills. Then we all fought. Then Hills got injured. Then he came back. Then they started the feud again. Then he got injured in a freak accident. Now he's out, and we're back again. So because of injuries, and because of delays, and because of all of this bullshit happening right in the worst possible timing, Rank Hills versus Benny Franklin has kind of been going on from 2017 until 2019. So it makes sense that before one of them got hurt again, to end the feud once and for all, which I like, and also gives a little bit of a mindset of, when is he coming back? We don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. USW is the only one that knows other than Rank Hills and possibly Benny Franklin. And they're not selling anything, which kind of makes it very clear that they have big plans for Rank Hills. They want it to be a surprise. I assume that could mean like an insanity match entrance, which I'm fine with, since Rank Hills is actually supposed to be cleared within the next month. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm very happy with that. But it makes you kind of wonder a little bit as to what the fuck we're going to be seeing. We can tell that they have big plans for Hills. They can tell they're also very cautious, or we can tell that they're very cautious about this feud. It's been going on for so long because of these delays. They want to ensure that they get a climactic finish to the feud before there's a possibility for another delay. So it makes sense in the overall aspect of things, and I'm perfectly 100% of the way behind it. I've always also kind of been worried that one of these kind of things would happen, where it's like, feud, you got hurt, shit, put it on the shelf. All right, you're back, feud, you got hurt again, put it on the shelf. You're back, just do it, just don't get hurt this time. So, don't throw yourself off a ladder, don't throw yourself off the side of a cage, just like run into each other and then pin each other. That's fine by me, as long as it's climactic of sorts. I'm good, just don't get hurt. Simple as that. So, big pop again for Rank Hills, which I'm very happy to see. We then get a promo. It's an interview. I'm a fucking idiot. Simple question, Tyreek Carver, where's your mindset at? What are you looking for against Mr. Anthony at Bulletproof? His simple answer, I'm not looking forward to Mr. Anthony at Bulletproof. I'm looking after Mr. Anthony at Bulletproof. I've still got my mind on the Blue Belt Championship. He's got his mind on the Blue Belt Championship, but he's a very unlucky fellow. Not only is he facing me, but he's facing me while I've got gold on my mind. He's essentially saying, I'm looking past Mr. Anthony. He's not my worry. He's not my concern. Neither is Bulletproof. My concern, my worry, is the Blue Belt Championship. That's what I want. That's what I'm going to take. That's where my mind's at. If Mr. Anthony doesn't like that, Mr. Anthony doesn't like that. I don't care that Mr. Anthony doesn't like that. I want this. I'm kind of fine with that, though. Primarily because even though it kind of dumbs down Mr. Anthony's threat, Mr. Anthony's challenge, and the spot that they had, I think it was last week and the week prior to that one, where Mr. Anthony would attack Tyreek Carver with the hockey stick. I'm not really a big fan of dulling that down, But I am a fan of continuing this storyline progression where Tyreek Carver, the longer he goes on without having beaten Dwayne Porter for the Blue Belt Championship, the more agitated and more aggravated and more focused and clear-minded towards beating Dwayne Porter and taking the Blue Belt Championship. It makes sense. Overall, the character pretty much demands that. It's been so long since he lost the title. He's been, on this track for so damn long. There's still really not much progression in terms of, getting it done. So it makes a lot of sense that as months are going on, he's becoming more and more and more focused on the Blue Belt Championship than anything else. He doesn't care about a measly feud with Mr. Anthony or Dustin Raymond or Simon Saint. He cares about the Blue Belt title. He cares about beating Dwayne Porter for the Blue Belt title. That's what his mindset's on, and it works. It's great. I'm glad they capitalized on it perfectly. Third match on the card. Simon Saint beats Benny Franklin. However, asterisk. Wyler, as Benny Franklin goes for a big boot, takes his leg from underneath him, allowing for Simon Saint to lock in the Sainthood, aka the ankle lock, for the submission victory over Benny Franklin. Now, Wyler after the match beats down Benny Franklin, takes a chair, cracks him over the head, cracks him over the back, beats him down into the ring, sets up the chair, which is kind of mangled by this point in time, sits down and says, "Hey, I'm done. I'm simply tired of standing in the background while you guys get to play patty cake for 15 minutes in the middle of a ring with no good direction, and I'm stuck back there watching it, having to suffer, knowing that this is more of a direction, despite the fact that it goes nowhere, than what I have. I'm taking a stand. I'm taking charge. I'm going to establish myself. I'm taking the opportunity. Not waiting for it. It's mine now. Suck it up." Throws the microphone down at Benny Franklin, walks out of the ring. I don't know whether this is a heel turn or not. Granted, it could just be a flex heel, which, I mean, I would love, since it would mean that I'm not the only one. But at the same time, I've got my concerns with it. I've got my questions on it. My biggest question about it, though, is the fact that who does it benefit? I don't really see it benefiting Wyler too much. I'm not a big believer in the fact that it would benefit Benny Franklin to beat Wyler. It would probably benefit Wyler to beat Benny Franklin. I don't think that's going to happen. That's my biggest worry. Nevertheless, I like that they're doing something with Wyler. I like that they're having him take a charge, not really having him wait for anything. He's just going to take it. I'm fine with that. I'm actually happy with that. That's a good direction in my mind. Interview afterwards. Alicia Sinclair, asked by Nathan Greenway, "Hey, what's your stance on Peyton Hawthorne and Bulletproof 11? Alicia Sinclair thinks about it for a little bit. Pretty much states this. She thinks she's Peyton Hawthorne scouted out. She may be wrong, but she doesn't think she is. The biggest concern on her mind is making it too bulletproof to ensure that when she competes with Peyton Hawthorne, she's not given the short end of the stick. She's ready for anything and everything that Peyton Hawthorne throws at her, and continues on to try to say something else, but then modern day royalty walk up. Then Jade Oliver walks up, looks at the title, looks at Alicia, flicks the title, says, "I don't care what you're going to do at Bulletproof. I don't care whether you win or lose. I'm up next for that." Simple as that. Walks away. So now Alicia Sinclair's got Peyton Hawthorne on mind, got Jade Oliver on mind, and in the back of her head she's got Haley Osser and Cindy Allison Jackson. This works. I'm a big fan of this, actually, because this gives her so many different directions for one, but at the same time opens up a great direction for character change. Something that's like, all right, I'm against a wall. Now decision time, how the fuck do we get out of this wall? And that makes sense. So she's the first women's champion in USW. First USW women's champion, not world's women's champion, but USW women's champion. She's got to find a way to keep that belt on her waist, around her waist. The biggest concern that I guess should be on her mind is how the hell she can get out of this situation. And if you play it right, I think you could do wonders for her, and especially wonders for her for her women's title reign. We go from the interview to main event, match number 4. Dwayne Porter versus Zach Hardy. Good match nonetheless. Dwayne Porter picks up the victory over Zach Hardy. Fends himself off of Anarchy, fends himself off of Prophecy, outsmarts Zach Hardy, and hits the porthole for the victory. Well, the hangnail. I still call it a porthole, but he hits the hangnail on Zach Hardy for the victory. Leaves the ring. After the match, Zach Hardy goes to get up. Anarchy and Prophecy are still staring up to his feet. James runs out from the crowd, puts his title down on the ground, gets in the ring, goes to sneak attack Zach Hardy. Hardy turns around and sees him on the Motiontron, and then bolts out of there. Scurries away with Anarchy and Prophecy in tow as well. James finally kind of gets inside of Zach Hardy's head, which is something different from what we've seen in weeks prior, where Zach Hardy's been utilizing that tactic on James. Makes sense, though. So turning the tables, turning the tide with James doing that to Zach Hardy makes sense to both men's characters, and that's where we leave it off. So James and Hardy kind of have that direction now, and at the same time, we're left in a position where we can kind of look from the outside and see exactly how this plays out. Because this show lined up a lot of different things for a lot of different ways for these stories to play out. And I'm really enthralled by it, and I'm really into it. So with that, I think this intensity may have been a best case scenario for a show 2 or 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out technically, from Bulletproof 11. They did everything right, they did it well, they executed it perfectly. And now I'm interested in seeing what happens tonight on Severity and seeing if they can then capitalize on this direction as well, kind of trying to set up something more than Intensity was. So for one, I think the show could end up being the better show of the week. We'll have to see Severity tonight to see and kind of understand the direction, but nevertheless, I like the direction. What were your thoughts on the show? What were your opinions? Leave in the comments down below. I am dying to hear them. With that being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm Zach Hardy. You can find me on Twitter at ZACHARYSERRA. You can find me on Instagram at THEZACKHARDY. And you can find me on Twitter and my presidential campaign account at VOTE4HARDY. More like, comment, and subscribe for more. I am Zach Hardy from the Wrestle Target, and I am, you know the rest, signing off. Wink, click sound.